Ginger Turmeric have served up 100 thieves with a sweet side of spice. Come back to the desk. I'm yet again ravished here by Smacks and Rafa. I don't know. I think I was as speechless as you were, Rafa, when you were watching the entire game, and Smacks definitely re-upped his hopium. But I'll come to you first as the Academy representative. Thoughts, feelings, comments, concerns?
They took a game off 100 Thieves Academy!
I know!
What the heck?
I know!
Like,
Here, I'll let you guys hash this out real quick. Let me know when you want the reason back.
Bro, do you believe this? This is wild!
yeah! Moose Hater solo killed Tenacity, and Moose Hater had a fantastic game too. Like, I feel bad for setting up the precipice that Moose Hater was going to hate his life in the matchup against Tenacity. Hell, he stood his ground. Even in game one, he was trying to hold on to himself as long as possible in the Zach Gwen matchup, that one is abysmal. But in this one, where he's given the reins, he's given trust from the team saying, hey, give me the Fiora, I can win the counter matchup. If you give me enough resources this game, I will beat this guy. And Tenacity could never maintain him. He could never keep him in check once Moose Hater got off to the races. So that is just, this throws everything that I came to believe about this matchup now to the wayside. I have no idea now what will occur for AGT and 100 in game 3.
Max, I think you have an idea what will occur in game 3.
I do.
Don't you?
I mentioned the winning formula for AOE Ginger Turmeric. I'm going to lay this out for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The winning formula for AOE is a bot lane that has range and agency, where you can play through the lane, you can stack drakes if you want to, you can get kills if you want to, but most importantly, you can get plates. You want to get a lot of plates onto your AD carry, and that's going to be Wixie. That was true when they were playing Deep Learn as well. So that's the biggest one. That's step one. You want to have bot lane agency. Number two, you want to have a jungle matchup where Keel can farm and be a secondary carry. He has been a really big carry on this team all throughout their entire existence, and I believe that is a big reason why they won on the Karthus game as well. Number three, you got to have some amount of scaling on Captain Shrimps, because Captain Shrimps, while he doesn't necessarily end up being the flashiest carry in the team fights, he oftentimes does top the damage charts just because he's firing stuff from the other side of the map onto you, whether that's with Gangplank Cannon Barrage or the Xerath that was banned away, or something like a Zoe as well. Those are the three things you need for an AOE Ginger Turmeric win, and if they have a strong lead early game, they're probably going to win that game. And that's what happened in game 2. That's what happens every time that AOE Ginger Turmeric wins.
I'm so excited I can barely contain it. I can't believe this is happening. God, this is so wonderful. And I'm really happy for all the Ginger Turmeric guys, because I'm sure they must be elated as well. And for 100 Thieves, I mean, yeah, pick it up, guys. I don't know what to say. But for now, while I try to contain my excitement, I want to engage you two in another activity, perhaps. So if you'll indulge me for a couple of minutes, let's play some Mad Libs, shall we?
Mad Libs? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm down for some Mad Libs.
Yeah,
Cool,
Mad Libs is a lot of fun. I think, we can, try to go ahead and fill in some blanks about League of Legends and the games in general, shall we?
Okay.
So, this is the first sentence that I wanted you to try and fill out. Let's look here at the bottom. There are so many blank ways to decide a blank playstyle for a blank team. Now, what I'm looking for the first word Smacks will come to you, I'm looking for an adjective. For there's so many blank ways.
I'm going to go with poggers.
Okay,
Ravishing
cool.
Ravish.
Poggers is the way. Awesome. Thank you. So I'll go ahead with... Okay, all right. Next, ways to decide a blank. I want a verb from you, Rafa.
I feel like
A verb.
we are catering to the sentence. I thought there's supposed to be a surprise in this, but
No.
what
My
would you
narrative.
say? Your narrative? Okay. Another adjective you said?
Mm-hmm. No, a verb here. I would like a verb. A verb.
A verb. Oh my god, it's updating on the fly too. Okay.
Ooh.
To decide a electrify.
Electrifying. Ooh. Kind of like some of the songs you made. I like that. Electrifying. Very cool. Playstyle for a blank team. I would like a noun from you here, Smacks.
A noun.
Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing that's got a very catchy ring.
Okay. I'm gonna go with coz.
Okay, all right. Can I say coz or cozy?
Coz is the noun version. Cozy is an adjective.
All right. Got a very coz team. That's C-O-Z-E for production. All right, look at that.
Perfect.
All right. So
Thanks for
that's the first
spreading
sentence so
Co's
far.
propaganda. Incredible.
Every time. Well, let's look at the second sentence and just try to put it all together by the third one. Okay. So, and some blank teams decide to blank it down and blank make games very exciting.
Oh man.
I'll start off with you here, Mark. I'm looking for a noun here. Just a noun. Nouns are simple, remember?
Tom Kench.
Okay, cool. Tom Kench. That is a catfish. I like that.
Yeah,
Decide
if
to
you want to
blank it.
do catfish, so it's not a proper noun.
Some catfish teams. Where are we going with this,
Some
Rafa?
catfish team. All right. Decide to blank it down. That's an adjective for you, Smacks.
Adjective.
I think it's. I think that's verb, right? So
Is it
Tom
verb?
Kench teams. I'm gonna go with slay.
Okay, slay. Cool. Now we're talking about slay like Santa or slay like slay your enemies.
Slayer.
Our producer got it right.
Yeah.
Thank you, producers. And finally, a noun for the final word here, Mark.
Well, if Tom Kench is one of them, and it's a catfish,
It's a
then,
catfish. What do they decide to do? What do they decide to do? What are they gonna do?
Sugar.
Okay, cool. Sugar.
Well, can you explain why you made that decision? I actually need to know.
Slay down sugar.
What do you mean by that, Rafa?
You don't need to know. But just keep going.
I do need to know.
Okay, let's
You don't
move
need to know.
on to the final sentence. Move on to the final sentence. Okay. The final sentence, which is, I'll wait for that to pop up right at the bottom. But I'll go ahead and save it in the meantime. But overall, I'm just blank that we get to watch blank play blank. Rafa Pog.
Oh,
Now, for the first word here, Max, I'm looking for a feeling. A feeling.
let's go with elated.
Ooh, elated. That's a good word. It's a nice E word. Okay. All right. That we get to watch blank and here, Mark.
Rafa
I'm
looks
looking-
kind of sleepy. Not gonna lie.
Mark is not
No,
elated
there's
to be
something in
here.
my eye. I promise.
Should we change it to sleepy? Snoozy, perhaps.
Wow. Z. Just in general. No, Mark. For the second blank, I'm looking for a player name here.
A player name.
A player name.
Moose Hater.
Moose Hater. That's right. That is a great player name. Player. And finally, I want a champ name from you, Smacks, for the final word.
A champion name.
A champion name.
Okay. Let's go with Poppy.
Okay, cool. Poppy. So I'll quickly go ahead and say all of our sentences together, right? So there are many poggers ways to decide a electrifying playstyle for a Co's team. Some Tom Kench teams, or catfish teams, decide to slay it down sugar and make games very exciting. But overall, I'm just elated that we get to watch Moose Hater play Poppy Rafa Pog. That makes 0 sense.
Pretty
That's
good.
wonderful.
Do the move, Rafa.
Do the thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Well, with that being said, will AOE GT take the final game? Will 100 Thieves bring it back? I don't know. You don't know, but there's only one way to find out. Casters, start a game.
I don't start the game, Ravish. You know this more than anyone. Don't put it on me. I don't start the game. Hello? Like it depends on when the players come back and when they're ready to go in, and making sure that the technical specs. Ran over. I know.
Yeah. The secret is that I start the game, and you can blame me if it's late.
Really?
Well,
Oh, snap.
100 Thieves Academy, you clearly weren't listening to the halftime show segment. That's very rude of you, because Ravish puts a lot of effort into that, but you banned Poppy. You weren't listening.
Smacks,
I'm very cross with you, 100
Smacks,
Thieves
they
Academy.
want to win. They don't want to lose. And if you give Moose
I was
haters
elated.
Well, Smacks, they don't care about your feelings. They care about
I was
themselves
elated
winning.
for Moose Hater. Rafa Pog were slaying it down, Sugar. I still don't know what that means, but we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. Gangplank is taken off the board, Rafa.
That the respect to Captain Shrimps' Gangplank, and Wixie is like, am I a joke to you? I just killed it on Draven. And, once again, being locked in, the former teammate of 100 Thieves Academy, staring them down in an upper bracket matchup here. Game 3, where the person that gets defeated will be sent to the lower bracket. And I don't think we were expecting 100 Thieves Academy to be sent to the lower bracket anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't think anyone had that in their brackets, apart from maybe the members on AOE Ginger Turmeric, who do seem rather confident in themselves today. They're picking a lot of those comfort champions, and you can't blame them. This is indeed Wixie's revenge arc, Rafa. He's playing against his old team in his first series ever on the AOE Ginger Turmeric roster. Back on the Draven, first picking it on top of it all. Keel back on the Karthus. We're raring to go with all the pieces of the formula that I mentioned, Rafa. But I do want to point out one thing. It is my personal belief that Misfortune is the strongest bot laner on the patch. That is due to the new runes that were changed around a lot. A lot of the green tree sustain runes were taken down a peg. All of the health potions were nerfed. And the blue tree runes with Scorch and I believe another one in the blue tree becoming stronger, it allows Misfortune to go for that poke build that is really, really powerful in the lane. So I think BMFX is set up very well for success here.
100 Thieves Academy making sure that they grab the Misfortune before it is banned away by AGT, the second ban phase like it happened last time. But a blind Fiora pick for Moose Hater. This is daring tenacity. It's like, dude, I don't care what you throw at me. Give me your best shot. I'm still going to clap you with this Fiora. And so tenacity says, all right, if you want late game, you want to throw it down all the way until the end, I'm picking the ultimate late game champion in Kale, where I don't believe that you or Keel are going to do anything to me that I am concerned about, and I'm going to get to the point where I am the best champion in the game.
This is pretty incredible what we're seeing here on display, Rafa. We have just pure confidence, pure comfort for AOE Ginger Turmeric. Everything that they possibly want. Their most played are being selected for us today, and the champions that they just won on in the previous game on top of it. They won't get their hands on the Gangplank, so they'll have at least a little bit of a difference. But Blitzcrank is still on the board until further notice. And I, for one, am very excited about this. I like that 100 Thieves Academy are taking away some of the AD options that Captain Shrimps really likes to play, though. We already touched on the fact that Karthus really likes when his entire team does not deal any magic damage. Pantheon's a Captain Shrimp special. I like that they banned it.
Recognizing the Lucian Shrimps, too, as well. And just knowing that AoE Ginger Turmeric, if you're going to pick a... Now, hold up, Smacks. Captain Shrimps has played Fiora one time, like in his career, and I remember a competitive stage game where he played it into a Galio, and or I don't know if I'm trolling or not, but I distinctly remember a Fiora mid game.
No, I think you're right,
and maybe that's why they blind picked this Fiora, because they're saying whatever Jimmy is going to pick, we're comfortable taking the Fiora mid into that, and so we're baiting out this now Kale potentially from tenacity. Is there another champion that either Moose Hater can take into Kale, or Like, I don't know how far I'm stretching the imagination.
No, I think this is reasonable. Actually, okay, for 100 Thieves Academy, I thought they were going to take the bait and pick their mid laner blind, because the bot lane matters a lot here against Draven. You do want support counter pick. They're actually going to avoid doing that and save counter pick just to be completely certain that they don't run into anything with Captain Shrimps. I think that's a very smart idea. They're saving it for Jimmy and making sure that he's going to be okay. Because I think you're 100% right. I think Captain Shrimps has done that in the past. And if any mid laner in this entire tournament was going to do it, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
So good on 100 Thieves to play resilient there.
Well, AGT say that since we now know the Nautilus matchup is a run back, we're going to go with, once again, Blitzcrank. And even though BMFX is on this misfortune and is going to be having a lot more lane presence than an Aphelios early on, she still suffers from being caught out by a Blitzcrank hook without flash. Oh, it's
yes!
The Shrimps Rumble, baby. Oh, man.
Okay. Yes. All right. So we're getting really excited for what is an AP champion with Karthus, but it's Captain Shrimps playing the Rumble, man. This is so exciting. This has been his classic pick ever since we started seeing him play in competitive. He's been so good at these melee champions in the mid lane. He's been so good at roaming around and impacting the entirety of the map. This is, again, peak comfort for AOE Ginger Turmeric. They're just picking every champion that they feel the best on and trying their hearts out to beat one of our strongest teams in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
They've already brought them to match point. This is as close as they're going to get, and they have to try now.
Yeah, running back some of the champions that these guys have put in so many hours and so much time into mastering. I think there's a famous Bruce Lee quote where, "I fear not the man that has practiced 10,000 kicks one time. I fear the man that practiced one kick 10,000 times," right? This is the essence of AGT showing the kick that they have practiced over and over and over, and multiple champions that they have mastered through hours, whereas 100 Thieves, I mean, they're for the most part, they're picking champions that are good on this patch. Will is an adept Lee Sin player, but we know that from the second game of this series, Kale was able to have better pathing than him, have more influence on the map, and was able to really out-impact Will in the early stage of the game, a part where Lee Sin should thrive against Karthus.
Yeah. Let's be entirely frank here. I think AOE Ginger Turmeric has the stronger draft. I think they have the same win conditions that they set up before, scaling jungle, strong early game agency in bot lane. They have that range and map impact on Captain Shrimps. That's the formula that it takes for them to win a game. All that's left for them to do is get a strong opening and ride that high out until the game is over. They're very, very good and very practiced at doing exactly those things. In 100 Thieves Academy, they've shown that they have been able to fall victim to it already in game 2. That is a pretty rough thing to walk into this game knowing he is going right back to the Lee Sin, the champion that you said he didn't have as big of an impact on in the previous one. You talk about practicing kicks. Will is going to need to have his kicks practiced for this game.
Because that is the only other way that you can really make a huge influence on the map, right? Is finding Dragon Rage plays once you hit level 6. Because, you know, the levels 1, 2, and 3, you or at least levels 2 and 3 as Lee Sin, you want to just steamroll and use the fact that you have much more potent early game damage and you have far more mobility than something like a Karthus to really just influence how hard your lanes are winning. But for Will, this is a confidence game that Will can play and look back on if he comes out ahead, if he finds the strides that is necessary to give 100 Thieves the advantage they were looking for in game 2.
Getting mirrored clears again for a third game in a row. We do have Keel pathing toward this bot side. We saw on his first clear on Karthus in the previous game, he actually was able to get into a lane and impact it right away. He did set up for a kill onto Tenacity in that top lane and brought Moosehater into relevancy in that game on the Fiora into the Gwen. Phenomenal stuff from Keel. We'll have to see if he can do it in the bottom lane or if he even wants to, because it does feel to me again that Will is kind of just letting that first clear go by. He's playing this Lee Sin, he's matching clears with Karthus and not trying to impact very, very early on into this game might be his downfall again.
And Will is on the top side of the map where he could potentially give Tenacity some resources, either look to burn a summoner spell, or even on this patch, a pressure gank is enough to make a difference in a laning state. With the cut to the lane sustain that is offered, if you can set up Tenacity in a good lane state, I mean, he can just ride that out until Moose Hater is forced to eventually teleport back in. And then Tenacity can sit on it and look for a better recall. But so far, Will is opting in for the full clear, has not made a move yet, while Keel, because he's Karthus, has the faster clear speed, has already finished up all his camps, got the crab, is ready for a recall, and Will is about to just hit the crab right now. So Keel is about to come up on the map first before Will. He's going to have an item backing, and now Will, does he find his first move onto Captain Shrimps?
Doesn't quite look like it yet here, as Captain Shrimps was able to kill out that entire way. That's all he needed to do. Will might have the opportunity to find Karthus early. An excellent ward, not even spotted out, will immediately show where Keel is. There it is. All right, Keel does have the sweep. He will see that he is known where his presence is. He also knows that the ward was very recent, because you can see the timer there. So he knows that Will is in the area. You can see him scouting out, and by process of elimination, he's going to be mid right now, so Will knows that.
Yeah, and then the fact that Keel is just waiting for his Gromp to spawn, he can spend that time giving information to Captain Shrimps, whereas Will still looking for that recall, because Keel is technically stronger on the first back, and Keel has started up his full second rotation again.
All right, Keel. Everything's going right for him so far. He didn't get that first kill, but as Karthus, that is so much extra credit that you don't even expect that it's going to happen. You expect that you're just going to be able to clear out your jungle, going for the 100% on the paper. You get an A if you do that. You don't need to 110% the game.
Yeah, and look at what AGT are doing. Like, Keel is giving so much information now because he saw Will on the recall. He knows which camps are spawning up. He has tracked him perfectly. They pinged out which next camps are spawning up next. Shrimps already took the priority advantage, put a ward down onto the Raptor camp, so they're going to see Will come onto that when he is making his second rotation of clear. So there's information given to Wixie and Duo King that they are completely safe by the time Will shows up on the top side of the map.
So here's the deal. We've laid out how positive this is for AOE Ginger Turmeric. We already saw them win a game exactly like this in the previous one. We have to mention that 100 Thieves Academy, they haven't done anything wrong quite yet. Yes, Will is playing this very passively, but he actually does have the opportunity to do that with how his lanes are set up. Tenacity is doing a great job in this top lane now that he is completely unbothered and it does not have a Karthus in his lane. And he's playing Kale. He's the win condition of all win conditions. Once he gets late game, he will 1v9 the game. And 100 Thieves know that. They know that they can play reactively in this one. Oh, wait, hold on one second.
Oh, but it's an all-in. Wixie and Duo King, once again, we talked about the information known that Will's on the other side of the map, so they go for the all-in. They don't get BMFX's kill, but they burn both of his summoner spells, and Keel is now coming in to further pressure BMFX off of the turret.
Oh, Captain Shrimps is here too with the equalizer. Busio surely should die here.
Oh, no, once again, the dredge line buffer. Busio's clean with it, but now he's down a mobility spell.
Okay.
Still has flash, dodging out on the equalizer. Jimmian is here, flashing in. They punish, and 100 Thieves are able to pick up first blood on the Wixie, who steps too far forward on the dive. Captain Shrimps and Keel are able to pick up any stragglers on Busio and BMFX, and Jimmian is now outnumbered 1 versus 3. Keel has enough mana to throw out the Skittles, and that hook from Duo King secures another kill, but it's a trade over to Jimmian as well.
Okay, 100 Thieves played that about as well as they possibly could. That is a very solid result for them. And this could be even more if Captain Shrimp sticks around. He knows that Will is coming. Will is level 6 as well, thanks to the farming he has. And this is going to be a kill.
Nice. All right. So Will finding use of that level 6 power spike, immediately cashing in. Dragon's Rage into Sonic Wave full combo. That's another kill on the board for 100 Thieves.
Less than perfect result for AOE Ginger Turmeric. This is why I said it was a good result for 100 Thieves, because they did not get the cash out on Wixie. It did get cut in half as well. They get all the kills in Karthus, which is still good. That is a very, very good thing to have. But you definitely make that play because you want Wixie to cash out and completely win the lane by himself from there. So that was a bit of a whiff. 100 Thieves, they do clean up 3 kills. A really solid response play. Jimmian showing that he can match those roams even against the Rumble.
100 Thieves find a way to, as you called it out, you know, react to the play that AGT force on 100 Thieves. And now Will, while he's still technically behind in farm, he's able to use that time that Kill spent for the dive catching up, and now there's a proactive invade that he can find. He doesn't have Dragon's Rage, but maybe he can at least look to steal this red buff away. Goes in, and Keel's immediately terrified because Jimmy is also coming in with the Realm Warp. And this is what we were wanting to see with 100 Thieves. If you have this matchup into the Karthus as Lee Sin, you need to combine with your solo laners and look to invade and put Keel behind.
Yeah, better late than never there, as Will finally does go for an aggressive invade. It feels like we've been waiting for that to happen for the entire series, but again, he does find it. It does actually have a pretty solid impact. Keel is put behind in his clear, and it took him a little while to actually get to those Krugs, which does matter because it desyncs his clear time. As a Karthus or as any farming jungle like an Udyr as well, that is impactful. You will feel the ripple effect of that in the following clears time and time again. So that's really big for Will. He's able to steal away the red.
For 100 Thieves, they will concede the first dragon because despite the dive going kind of both ways for teams, Wixie still ahead in the farm department, still ahead in the pressure department, thanks to both him and Duo King in this matchup specifically that gives them first dragon control.
On the other side of the rift, though, you can see that same level of pressure applied in mid lane and in top lane by 100 Thieves Academy. They have really solid leads in both of those lanes. This likely will set up Will to go for a play on this top side. He's spotted on that ward, though, and this gives way for AOE Ginger Turmeric to respond.
Oh yeah, Moose Hater is already wrapping around. Will thinks that he has to jump on the Keel.
There
he gets
is.
the kick in, but Jimmy is a little too separated from over the wall. Will almost gets the complete damage out on the Keel, but Tenacity comes in clutch, but it's the Requiem. The damage might be enough, and Keel plus Captain Shrimp's burning him alive. Turn that around thanks to the vision control that they have in their jungle.
Nice ward. Saves that jungle play for Keel. He is thanking his lucky stars that just happened. He's able to safely clear out his camps once again. He can even get another kill onto his Karthus. He now has a full-on Ludens. He's continuing to scale. He's actually getting confident enough to set up for a Rift Herald, perhaps, as he actually is on the receiving end of a ward this time. And I don't think he can go for this one. Yeah, no, you don't want to overstay your welcome.
I will say, you know, Karthus very good at soloing objectives and, you know, doing objectives in the first place. Rift Herald is not one of them because it's all about hitting the back eye, and you're already slow on Karthus, and trying to walk and waddle around and auto attack is like a terrible feeling. You definitely want at least one other person there with you.
Yeah, definitely. Keel, figuring that out, perhaps, is gonna coordinate with Duo King instead, who does have that rocket grab access. Gonna clear out all of these vision wards, these pesky wards, spotting him out. But because he was on that ward, Will gets to go show what an auto-attacking jungler can do. Solo the Rift Herald.
I like how you switched that up. Now, Moose Hater spotted on the control ward, clears it out, gives him the safety needed to continue in the laning phase. But as we alluded to in the draft, Tenacity in this Kale matchup is ahead in CS, and he's scaling on up. As there's a... Okay, Busio and BMFX trying to turn this dive around, and just overextended from Wixie and Duo King. I'm not sure how that all really came down to play, but this is Busio and BMFX punishing and capitalize on a duo lane that was overextended.
Ooh, and that is where the vision game continues to expound upon itself, because the reason that they're even able to go for a play like that, Rafa, is because of that ward in the river, just a little bit above where we're looking right now. Keel was spotted on that river ward moving backwards into his own jungle. Busio knows for a fact that there's nobody in range to help out Duo King, and that is why they can go forward with the dredge line and find both of those kills. An excellent setup. Just shows how important the vision game is to League of Legends.
100 Thieves, you know, taking advantage of unexpected moment there for AGT, but I want to look forward ahead. We've got plates dropping a minute and a half from now. I don't expect that there's going to be any big plays of getting more plates. There's still a Rift Herald for Will, but being posted on the top side of the map, where do we want to see him rush? Oh, okay.
Right there.
Well, maybe it's just a right onto the top side of the map. Moose Hater is running down Tenacity, but he still has the ultimate, and Moose Hater was trying to damage check him, but now he is fully extended.
Oh no,
but
Tenacity!
it's Keel! Keel gets the follow-up with the Requiem, and Jimmy is not in range to stop or CC him. Will goes in, but it's now a 2-on-3. Jimmy and Will having already been previously chunked out here, and AOE GT once again find a play, turn it around.
Oh, that feels so brutal there for Tenacity. He lives, he gets the sigh of relief, and then he looks up and sees the song of death raining down upon of him. It's just too sad. Tenacity does go down 3 games in a row. They're able to find effective kills onto the 100 Thieves Academy star top laner, Keel and Moose Hater, showing us a diverse way that they're playing through this game. Even though they have Blitzcrank and Draven in the bottom lane, they're still trying to set up their split pusher for success, and it's worked all 3 games.
And it's incredible to see how much resources has been poured into that top side, as you already mentioned before. Because this was just not on our radar in terms of matchups to either protect or play for the advantage of. We talked about slowing down Tenacity or shutting down Tenacity, but we never expected, yes, let's make Moose Hater our primary win con. Let's make Moose Hater one of our primary win conditions. We definitely thought it was going to be on the opposite side of the map. But Wixie and Duo King, for the most part, have been incredibly stable, and they've been having the advantage over. You know, the dive was a little monka, but they're still ahead.
This is going to be a Drake setup. What a hook!
Oh, good hook. Jimmy is locked down, and the equalizer right on top of it almost takes out Jimmy, but he flashes away, and BMFX able to trade out onto Duo King before any kills come in from AGT. Means that now they have the advantage to start up the Dragon, and AGT have to be the ones that are careful when entering the pit.
Duo King caught up position just one more time. I really liked that hook, and the reason I got so surprised is because he was in such a precarious position, and I really wasn't expecting him to be able to do a whole lot. Turns out I was right to follow that intuition. Jimmy only chunked out a little bit, and AOE and Turmeric now have pretty precarious Drake setup. They don't even have equalizer.
Oh, and they lock down Keel here. Captain Shrimps cuts off Jimmy, but the number trade will be enough. Shrimps, he has to burn him down through the Requiem as well. Captain Shrimps still alive and is able to take out BMFX alongside Keel's Requiem. Duo King has come back from the grave, but Will flashes to kill secure for Captain Shrimps and the rest of 100 Thieves. Now, do they have the strength to do this Dragon? Duo King is still here.
It's only the Blitzcrank, though. There is no way that this gets stolen away by a Blitzcrank hook, right?
I mean,
Will doesn't have smite.
Will could be slowed down too. Just pull it out, man.
There's no way. There's no way.
Just pull it out.
Oh, he's walking away.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
that sucks.
Okay. Well, Duo King no longer believed. I mean, he probably figured that. Hold on. Okay, Tenacity flashing forward to follow the chase on to Moose Hater, and Tenacity, yes, they trade 1 for 1, but the wave crashing in means that Moose Hater loses out more than Tenacity.
Or does he? There's a jungler there, Rafa.
Keel picks up the wave.
Anyway, I want to watch this fight one more time because Captain Shrimps gets the solo kill onto Jimmian, and he just deals an absurd amount of damage in this team fights. We know that Captain Shrimps is very skilled at this champion, but he's just not able to close it out because, like you saw right there, Will already had the Sonic Wave pop onto Captain Shrimps. Duo King trying to save him with the Rocket Grab. But again, Will proves that patience is key when it comes to Lee Sin, something that, Rafa, you might want to take a note of, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my god, why are we flaming me? Man. That was pretty slick stuff from Will. And I think this is a good sign and a good look from Will, stepping up in the face of what seemed like an absent game in the previous one. Now, this one puts us at a point where 100 Thieves, they're not falling behind AGT. AGT still have some scaling benefits on their side, but because of as you have alluded to before, Tenacity on this Kale is the ultimate win con. And while before, you know, something like a Karthus scaling up or even a Fiora scaling up is scary, a late game Kale is one of the most terrifying, bar none. No comparison.
Maybe Cassidy, but he's not here. We don't have to worry about it.
Thank God.
As Keel, I do want to say, Keel has 2,000 more gold than Tenacity, and that's not usually the matchup you'd look for, jungler versus top laner, but it is the reality of the situation. They are the late game win conditions for their team, and that is where our eyes need to be drawn. Keel is doing a better job as of this very moment. It's kind of unfair, because Tenacity did have to play the first 5 levels as a melee champion, so you got to take that into account.
Yeah.
And he can get ganked, which Keel not so easily done to him, so it's a bit of an unfair comparison, but regardless, it's
right.
just the matter of this game. That's what you have to look at.
Yeah, and it's not like 100 Thieves didn't try to slow down Keel. There was one good look in the bottom side jungle on the red buff, but then they tried to go for it again on the top side. Keel sniffed it out. They had that good ward that defensively tracked Will and made sure that they could turn things around, punishing. So 100 Thieves know that while Will is still being far more active than we saw in Game 2, it does, as you say, come down to Tenacity and Keel. Like, who can be the stronger late game presence? Because neither team has been able to take a firm grasp and of control of the game as we are hitting 19 minutes so far.
Yeah. Let's talk about the differences between those two champions as well, because Tenacity is playing Kayle, and Karthus and Kayle are very different champions. Karthus can still work even if he dies. He still has 7 seconds to operate and deal a lot of damage, which 100 Thieves do have to keep track of. The scaling will still be there even if you assassinate him. Tenacity, not so much, but he does have ways to mitigate his death. He can go for a lot of ranged auto attacks. He has much more range than Karthus does, apart from the ultimate, and he can keep himself alive with his own ultimate. So it's a very different way to deal damage and work in these team fights that both teams have to think about. And I think for AOE Ginger Turmeric, the big thing is going to be that zoning threat and bringing people inside of Karthus's range. And I think they actually do have really good tools of doing that. Blitzcrank Hook, Rumble Ultimate. These are good ways of achieving that win condition. And to be honest, I'm not entirely certain that 100 Thieves have a lot of ways to activate a Kayle. I think it's going to have to be Tenacity doing a lot of the work himself.
Still got 3 levels to work for, as you called out, Smacks. 3 levels away from level 16, where Tenacity will be fully ascended and hit that late game stride. Oh man, Keel realized he was in a bad spot. Both Busio and Will were on either sides of his flank, and he's like, this is bad. This is bad. I got a flash. And well, that's a summoner spell down for the jungler of AGT. Dragon is coming up in 35, so now this puts more pressure on Keel on how he chooses to enter the fight.
Summoner Spell and Drake, probably both down for AOE Ginger Turmeric. They don't have access to either of them. Big deal, because AOE Ginger Turmeric, the way they won that last game was in no small part due to the Drake Soul that they got for themselves. The Ocean Dragons, stacking those up really helps you win a game of League, it turns out. And Mountain Soul, very similar. If 100 Thieves can deny that away, they get more scaling on their side and more times that Kayle can land her auto attacks.
Oh wait, good ward from Duo King, gets a hook onto Busio. Half of his health already chunked out. The MFX throwing out the ultimate, and it's an equalizer, but Will, as you call it out, is he looking for a flank? Who does he want to kick? He's probably looking for Wixie on the backside. Finds Wixie, gets the kick down, but it's a flash, and Will has nothing to interrupt. Keel's ultimate with the Requiem, forced to flash over the wall, but Moose Hater is ready to follow with a flash of his own. The grand challenge has been initiated, and AGT say, screw the dragon, we're going for the Baron.
Oh, you could very easily see what Will was trying to go for, and you could understand why as well. But it just ended up being the worst imaginable thing that could happen there. He's on the flank, he's completely isolated with his team, no one can follow up on the kick onto Wixie, and he's dead after 20 minutes with the team all directly next to Baron, Rafa. That is, oh man, we talked about rolling a d20 earlier. Will just hit in that one. That's so unlucky.
That is quite a detriment now to 100 Thieves' possibilities of maintaining control of this game. With the Baron buff on your hands on AGT on all 5 members, you have strong wave clear in Captain Shrimps. Wixie, Keel, and Duo King can hold their own in the mid lane, and then you have Moose Hater on this Fiora. We haven't checked in with Tenacity in a hot minute. He's still technically 400 gold ahead of Moose Hater, but with Baron buff on your side and with Tenacity not hitting level 16 yet, I can take my chances that Moose Hater, as long as he has the Requiem in his back pocket, he should be able to press forward in the matchup as soon as he sees everyone else on the map.
Yeah. That last bit is the most important thing, because Moose Hater knows off the last couple of games how easy it is for him to get caught out on this Fiora, and he cannot take that chance with the Baron. If he dies with Baron, he no longer has it, and he is that big scaling late game split push win condition. The Karthus can do a lot of the damage in the team fights, but Moose Hater needs to be alive to deal all the damage to the structures. As is true of the rest of the team, as they are going for a 4-1 situation right now. AOE Ginger Turmeric said it a million times at this point, Rafa. They know what to do when they have a lead. Baron is one certain way to get a lead, and that's what we're seeing on our screens right now. Oh.
BMFX just trying to clear out most of the minion wave, or trying to cut them off in that choke point there with the ultimate. But I don't know, Smacks, at 100 Thieves, they're starting to run out of options. You already see Moose Hater maintaining control of the top side of the map, and even waiting in the jungle.
So, I've said a lot of times that this is not unexpected for AOE Ginger Turmeric. That is in reference to how they're playing the game. What is unexpected... Okay, hold on one second.
Oh, I mean, that's a good hook on the Jimmy, but Divine Intervention comes in strong, and Tenacity, while not level 16 yet, puts out a ton of damage, but it's the Equalizer that answers right on back. And Keel, if he steps up and he looks for the Requiem off the backhand, no Divine Intervention is going to save anyone, and oh man, you saw the thought process. Jimmy was trying to realm warp the members back into the fountain so they could regen, but it's not in time to save BMFX's life.
The other thing there is, if you get the timing just right, Realm Warp does give you iframes, invulnerability frames, I should say, so you can avoid Karthus ultimate. That is what Jimmy was trying to go for. Barely misses the timing on that one, and BMFX does go down. I was saying how the expectations for AOE Ginger Turmeric, this is how we expected them to play. This is how we expected they might be able to win a game. Nobody expected that they were gonna do it though, Rafa.
Yeah,
nobody thought that they were gonna
2-1
beat
best
100
of 3.
Thieves.
Like,
What?
it's one thing for an amateur team to get one upset win off of an academy team, and one of our best academy teams in the entire league. But this is now a second game in a row where AGT find themselves at 25 minutes into the game. 400 Thieves, they're not down 6,000, 7,000 gold like they were last time around. But this is a 4,000 gold deficit that they are dealing with right now, as they are just enduring as long as possible. Tenacity. Still that late game win con, that one champion that can wake up at level 16 and put out incredibly stupid amounts of damage.
Yeah.
It is so terrifying, but that is what 100 Thieves have to play for.
This is a spot where AOE Ginger Turmeric is going to prove to us whether or not they are the real deal, I think. Because in the previous game, it was a great win. They got everything that they could possibly want. It was really solid. This is actually a position in the game where it's not specifically clear what needs to be done. They don't have a Drake Soul that they're playing towards. It's very, very far away from them at this point. They will eventually have to deal with a level 16 Kayle if that is their out. What is more impressive, what is more impactful for them is going to be a Baron, but then if they dump everything into Baron, they're giving up that Drake, and they eventually will have to deal with a Mountain Soul. So this is do or die for them. If this works,
Good hook from Dual King, lands on Abusia once again. Stopwatch is popped, but he has a flash, but he's not getting out alive with this one off the backhand of Requiem. And 100 Thieves, they concede the tower easily, but they are praying that Jimmian and Tenacity, with the time they are being given, can take as many turrets off the back end of that play. And it looks like it will be at least one in the mid lane, not enough for two in the inhibitor turret.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about, Rafa. AOE Ginger Turmeric, they have the lead, yes, but they need to continue to make correct decisions. This is not a very easy game to close out, even though they have a lead. We have to continue to see what their strengths are in a game like this. They are going to get the Drake. That's good. They don't have to worry about the Drake Soul for a while longer in this game. And with the pick that they got in the bottom lane, that does secure it. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, though, because they did just lose key structures in their base. And they have to make it worth it. They have to make it actually happen that kill leads to them winning the game. They have to let all the dominoes set up and knock them down one by one. That's how this late game situation works. We know they're really good at mid game. They have to close.
So, AGT, I imagine eyes next are on Baron for both of these teams, right? And for 100 Thieves, they have to be careful, even if they're the first ones into the pit, because if they are grouped too far close together, that's just easy pickings for Shrimps to just lay out the red carpet.
They've got the Blitzcrank hook as well. The rocket grab is completely a game changer in any skirmish that you could possibly see. It completely ruins the positioning of what otherwise would be solid from an immobile carry like Rise, like Misfortune. You have to consider that one as well if you're 100 Thieves Academy. There's a lot that they need to look at when it comes to this next objective play, and they cannot let this Baron fall to the wayside. They need to play for this.
They see all 5 members committed to the Baron, but they're burning it down so fast. 100 Thieves,
Wow.
they cannot answer back. They just do not have enough time. There's too much damage from AGT that burns it down. Tenacity is able to get a second turret off of the board. The second tier 2 in this game. No inhibitor turrets have been taken yet, and now 100 Thieves, are they going to Death Brush? Oh, this would be bold.
There's not a lot of ways to scout this out. That Wall of Pain is the only one.
Okay,
Shrimps.
the sweep only finds one. Captain Shrimps goes golden, and 100 Thieves, I think you want to bail now. Shrimps laying down the red carpet. Is this the point?
Oh my God!
Damage! Kill and Shrimps wipe out the members of 100 Thieves in one single blow. Moose Hater chasing down Tenacity. This could be it, Smacks. The greatest upset in amateur history against the Academy teams. The number 2 team is about to be sent to the lower bracket by AOE Ginger Turmeric.
In the first round, AOE Ginger Turmeric are about to do the impossible. They're about to reverse sweep 100 Thieves Academy. Justice for Wixie on his old team. He's proving that they shouldn't have replaced him. He's proving that he's here. He's still ready to play, and he's moving on to the next round.
The redemption stories that come through for so many members on this AOE Ginger Turmeric squad. You hit it there, Wixie, formerly of 100 Thieves Academy, being let go, proves that his time spent in amateur grinding was not wasted. He comes up, faces down his old org, and says, hard work is right here, baby. I got back here. I'm the one sending you guys down to the lower bracket. But even for Keel, too, this was a guy that came in to the Academy system and was set up to be a potential prospect. But CLG Academy, I mean, the org doesn't like to remember it, but we all remember Summer. 10th place.
Yep.
Only Academy team that didn't make it to Proving Ground Summer at all. And it's so easy to point fingers and say that Keel was a problem with that, but Keel is proving that, like, hey, I was one of the bright spots of that roster, and I am showing that I still have what it takes to beat one of the best in Academy.
This win proves to be a beacon of light for all of the amateur teams to see that the top Academy teams are beatable. If you play your game, if you play how you know League of Legends, if you play how you played to even get to the point where you're at right now. You're in Proving Grounds. You already made it. If you play the way you know, you will be able to beat the best teams in Academy. This has been proven today. This was proven last year by Barrage when they beat the number 2 seed. It was proven by Resolve. The same team, kinda, but they also beat the number 2 seed. History is repeating itself today, right in front of us, Rafa. The second seed.
I didn't even think about that. The number 2 seed curse. No way, man. No way.
It's insane. It's real. We just saw it again. AOE Ginger Turmeric. This team is the real deal.
Oh my god.
The amateur teams, they can do it. It was proven right now. We just saw it. It's proven that Keel and Wixie are the real deal. The rest of the team as well. Yes! Yes! This is so good.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, 100 Thieves Academy, this was an unexpected and very, I don't even know what to say about the state of the game. But for AOE Ginger Turmeric, the incredible stuff. Absolutely the biggest upset we have ever seen in Proving Grounds history, and it is AOE Ginger Turmeric that do it. Much props to them as they will move on to the next round in the upper bracket. For us, we're going to be taking a quick break while we get ready for our interview for Ravish and AOE Ginger Turmeric.
Wixie, what is up, dude? You just got, I think, one of the biggest moves you've seen in PG so far. Talk to me.
I mean, it feels pretty crazy. I mean, no words can really describe like the feeling I just got. You know, it's kind of insane. Being an amateur, being at home, celebrating at home, it feels nice. You know, in comparison to like being like at an academy, like place or whatever. It feels nice to be home and celebrating the win.
I mean, yeah, it's of course, although you can't be beside your teammates, but still, I have to imagine the feeling has to be amazing. So, the first thing I want to get across to you is a message from Rafa personally, and I think it's something that I know you relate to, is that hard work and the power of youth prevails, does it not?
Of course, it always does. I worked my butt off because I felt like I really had to win this. You know, like there's no other thing I had to win. And like considering I just joined this team like 2 days ago, we only had 2 sets of scrims to play, like a total of like 8 games or something as a team. And just to show up like this with like my comfort picks and feeling strong about my own mechanics, it all works out, you know.
And that's the craziest part. So let's dive into that a little bit more, because what was the transition like just getting in like almost like a couple of weeks ago to now already playing with team on PG? That it's so fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's helped a lot that I've been from team to team to team to team to team. You know, like I went from 100 Thieves like 4 months ago to Cloud9 substitute to no org for a bit, and like right now I'm playing on this team. I've met so many people. I've dealt with like so many type of personalities, and I feel like it's helped me a lot. Like just transitioning into this team pretty easily, finding what's most comfortable
Yeah.
for us with a little days of practice, and we showed up on the day, so that's what matters.
Yeah, y'all showed up in an absolutely massive way. I can't even imagine like what went through y'all heads. Yo, just on a call one-on-one thing. After game number one, we were all thinking, okay, it might be chalked, right? But did y'all just decide, yeah, it's fine. Comfort is where we go. We know where we're good at. Let's pick it back up. Is that it?
I think the difference was knowing in game one I had no control over the game. Like I was just playing Tom Kench. I feel pretty useless on Tom
True.
Kench, so I gave Duo King the honor of Senna, and he's a really good Senna player. I won't lie, but I feel like I couldn't do much on Senna. I mean on Tom Kench. So like the next 2 games, I was like, just lock me in Draven. I've been spamming the crap out of the Draven, and I think
Yeah.
Lucio has a mental block on Draven. From like knowing him for a while, like the champion just has a full mental block against him. So I was like, just pick me at every game against this team, and we'll just like win, you know. And that was that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bro, you showed it straight up. Yeah, the Draven pick was nutty, bro. But and let's go dive into that too, because considering he was beating a former team, man, 100 Thieves Academy went down through your hands. I know you were saying it a bit before, but the feeling that must overcome you must truly be amazing, especially for your story too.
Oh yeah, I feel like after we lost in finals, game 5, my motivation was like at its peak. I really wanted to just like win the next like proving grounds completely. I wanted to take it. I felt like that loss was devastating, and when I found out that I had no team, it was going to be like even more devastating. I felt like my trip to getting there would be even more rough, you know. So it's felt great, like at least completing this first step. But obviously, the plan will always be to like try to get first place in my eyes. So that's something I'm aiming for.
100%, and I'm excited to see how y'all develop too. But I do want to give the people a bit more information on you who may not have seen you in quite some time, right? Who also may not also watch amateur. Give the people just a little more insight as to how you find you've developed throughout as a player on your both off season from 108 to coaching to like now coming back on GT and then beating the former team.
Oh yeah, I mean this whole year has been like quite the trip. Like it all kind of started with me winning like scouting grounds, the last scouting grounds ever, and I got getting picked up by 100 Thieves, having a long like 4 months like grinding and playing like on that team, getting second place in the end, coming short from 1 win off of winning all proving grounds, and then being teamless was kind of rough. Yeah, it always feels bad to think about it, but I use it as a motivation sometimes to just like never want to lose again. You know, I don't want to lose that way again. I want to feel like I want to have control over things, and I feel like being an amateur more, talking to more people, I feel like I've shown like a way I can like lead a team and how I can like take resources and carry and put responsibility in my hands more often. So I think that's helped me a lot stepping down to like amateur throughout this year.
That's really amazing to hear, and just the way that you and the team are looking right now, it makes my heart happy as an amateur fan, and just to see you guys take down 100A is something special. Like, no, like absolutely no feeling. They're amazing, but like It's truly is something beautiful. And of course, final fun segment that I wanted to do is get some stuff from you. Now I know you're a Naruto fan, so for everybody out there watching, I want you to give them a quick like 3-4 sentences on why Naruto is the greatest anime of all time.
Okay, why Naruto is the greatest anime of all time? I mean, people complain a lot that it's filler, but the filler is amazing. It's a part of the show.
Yes.
It's what makes it like different, you know. And I think the storyline, the motivation it gives, the drive it gives to people, especially young people, is insanely important, and that's why I love that show.
That's right. That's what I do too, man. That's why I love seeing your story as well, Wixie. But I really appreciate you talking to me. Phenomenal win today, and I cannot wait to see what y'all do next.
All right, thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
See ya.